It definitely seems like the director of Doctor Strange, Scott Derrickson, had some sort of agreement with Marvel and Disney that he wouldn't really talk about what happened in his departure up until about a year went by. Well, now he's talking a little bit more about some of his creative decisions and about the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel. Before we get into this, does anybody else find it very, very funny that once Scott Derrickson left, suddenly everybody that loves cinema was very upset that Scott Derrickson left the previous film that they called mediocre and just another retread of Doctor Strange being another carbon copy of Iron Man 1, and were also very upset that he was getting removed from the sequel, saying that the sequel would be very mediocre. And then the moment Sam Raimi was announced to be a part of that film, they all just completely ignore what they were saying before and are all happy. I just figure that's kind of funny. Scott Derrickson opened up a little bit more about the creative process recently, talking about how it's all about the creativity to him, and specifically going all the way back to mention The Day the Earth Stood Still from 2008. Now, that film in particular, I will say I haven't seen it. It's not one of those movies that I ever thought that I would want to see. I'll just be honest with that. It just didn't appeal to me, a remake of, well, such an important film. And I know Derrickson was on it, but it's just a film that never got on my radar. It's just like, why would I want to watch a remake of the classic, right? So it's just one of those films that fell through, but I know a lot of people didn't like it. But he says ever since that day, it was all about creativity to him. And then he says he doesn't really have anything against Marvel still, but he believes that the Multiverse of Madness is in excellent hands with Sam Raimi, and that he's going to do great with the next Doctor Strange. Now remember, had he remained on the project and agreed to do it on the timetable, Doctor Strange would have already been shot. So whatever that film would have been before everything fell apart, it would probably be a far cry away from what we're getting now and what's happening with Spider-Man and the multiverses and all that. And it's just kind of making me think about, in retrospect, this different type of universe we could have had that shakes out after Endgame. Ultimately, I'll be really honest with you. I would have loved Derrickson had he continued with a darker tone and using Nightmare. But I am way more hyped having Sam Raimi in the fold with the MCU again, multiple Spider-Men, and this giant multiverse focus. In the end, it seems like everybody is happy with where they're at in their career now. And it doesn't look like Derrickson's too much against Marvel anymore. He just wishes that they could have gone a different route.